Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we are here to talk about the new Captain America movie, because yet again, Marvel has dropped another movie on us. It is the middle of February, and we have a new Marvel entry to discuss. Last year we only got one of these things, but now we're back to the normal three, so this probably isn't the last time I'll be here to talk about one of these things, but yesterday I saw Captain America Brave New World. This is the first MCU movie in a while I haven't seen on Thursday previews, so take of that what you will. I watched the movie, and oh boy, did I not like this one. This one is just really blandly bad. It's one of the worst MCU movies, I will say. I can say this with confidence. It's one of the worst MCU movies. Unlike Eternals, this one's a lot closer to Quantumania than Eternals as far as the rotten movies for this franchise goes. Because I actually kind of like Eternals. It's kind of annoying at parts because of how it deals with its story, but it's a movie that has a visual style and feels like a movie. It feels like something that is made to be a film, and it feels like a cohesive, creative vision. Something like this, or Quantumania, do not. I'm just going to get into the complaints right away, because I feel like that's the best way to start, because you're going to have so much negative to say about this movie, and then I can end off a little positive, because I always got to end off with a little positivity, right? So start off, yeah, this movie's bad. This movie is very much not good. The screenplay is all over the place in how it's written. Like, dialogue changes how varied it is from scene to scene. It feels like it's written by different people, probably because this is a Marvel movie. That means there are probably a bunch of fucking writers on this thing. So throughout the movie, dialogue constantly changes in the style of how it's presented. And then constantly there's just a endless wall of exposition. Just the whole movie, just every scene, characters will just go on and go on, just saying exposition repeatedly. This is a problem with a lot of the bad MCU movies, and this one is no different. It is very annoying in this regard. The characters hardly ever talk like people. They hardly ever show you anything instead of just telling you, which obviously sometimes you have to do, but sometimes you can very easily tell or show people what you mean. But no, it's easier just to fucking spout it in exposition. And that very much annoys me. It is very similar to like Quantumania in that regard too, where exposition is just constantly vomited on the audience without like any attempts to show you what they're trying to talk about, because it'd be easier just to say it. So yeah, that's where we start. Next up, the directing is like fine. It's not terrible. Don't get me wrong. It's not terrible. It's just like not at all interesting. It's not a movie that is interestingly directed. It doesn't really have a style to its own name. It just kind of looks like a basic Marvel movie. Very similar to like the second Ant-Man movie. And Quantumania, if you remove the fucking quantum realm. It's very similar to those in terms of directorial style. It doesn't really have any. It's just a yes man directed movie, which obviously is a little less offensive than a poorly directed movie, but it's still not good, because I would prefer my movies to have style to them. Like something like Multiverse of Madness or Guardians Volume 3, even in this universe. Or, other movies like Christopher Nolan's movies. He always has a style. M. Night Shyamalan, Martin Scorsese, something like them. Obviously, I don't expect them to reach the same heights, especially like Scorsese, because that's like one of the greatest directors of all time, yada, yada, yada. But, at least something. Give me something to chew on. But no, instead, it just looks kind of bland. It doesn't really have a style. It doesn't really have a specific, like a creative director choice. It doesn't, and then visually, this movie looks fucking poor. The VFX sucks. For the most part, Red Hulk looks fine, but like a lot of the backgrounds look really bad. You can very clearly tell they aren't there. Looks really bad. And then just visually, like I said, it has like no style. There's this over the top film grain filter over the whole movie, which I found really funny in the second trailer, but it's still there for the whole movie, which I thought was insane. I was like, "What? Why? What leads you to this decision?" You know? It's a very weird choice, but you know, whatever. It's not the worst thing ever. It's just a really weird choice. Just overall, this movie looks bad visually. It's uninteresting directing wise, and it's got a poor script. The acting, for the most part, is fine. It's just standard MCU acting, which isn't bad, because this is a standard MCU movie, so I'm not going to fault the actors, because that's kind of what the job asks of them. So it's not really their fault. I don't blame any of them, and I don't think it's overall a big negative about this movie. They're all doing their jobs. They're fine. They're decent. And then overall, the score is good. That's my positive thing. I like the score. The score fits well. The score is well composed. She deserves better. She deserves better movies to compose. But as it is, this is a good score. It sounds good. It fits the movie well. It's a good score. But overall, I just really didn't like this one. It feels way too basic, but it also is a jumbled mess. It's very clearly gone through a bunch of rewrites, and overall, it's just meant to be as inoffensive as possible, as apolitical as possible, despite being a political thriller. It's very wish-washy in how it wants to approach anything. So overall, I just didn't like this one. Now, obviously, you're entitled to your own opinion. I'm not going to argue about it. So, to each their own if you liked the movie. But this is just my personal thoughts. And that's my review on this movie, Captain America Brave New World. So, I'd hope to see you all later. Peace out.